Open up your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness podcast with me, Sifu Boggie. Sifu means guide, muse, somebody who points you along the way, who guides you on your path. Boggie means the balancer between the chaos and the calmness. And for the last 39 years, I have been studying the Daoist arts. The Dao means the way, the path, the balance. And I've been studying different techniques, different arts, different skills like Qigong, Tai Chi, Titta, Tuina, Chinese massage, reflexology, acupressure, 5-element healing, 5-element cooking with the food theory, and many other NLP and many other different techniques. Because my teachers very much believed everything you learn enhances everything else you do. And my goal is twofold, is to help people with chronic pain, people with stress and anxiety, help them, give them techniques that will help relieve that, like it did for myself, but it also did for many of my students over the last 39 years, as well as teaching healers, light workers, coaches, practitioners, healing practitioners, to supercharge themselves and ensure they never burn out, because that's one of my skills, and my Sifus taught me to teach this to other people. So that's who I am and what I do. What's this show all about? Well, this show is called Sit Down with Sifu on a Saturday. Hello, Saturday. And this episode is the way of the 3 M's and the 5 skills. Now, in the last Sit Down with Sifu, we talked about the threes. The numerology is a big thing within Daoism. You have the 0, you have the 1, you have the 2, you have the 3, you have the 5, you have the 8, and so on and so forth. And they everything's a metaphor. I very much learned that within Daoism, within Qigong, within all the Eastern techniques, everything is sort of metaphor. It represents something else. Everything is something else. And so, especially for the Barefoot Doctor, but in martial arts, in the whole idea of martial art, that word is a little bit misunderstood. The martial side is the practice. The martial side is the study of something. Martially, make it very ordered, make it very controlled. The martial side is that stickler for practice. A true martial artist practices as much as he possibly can. Bruce Lee was known for practicing from the moment he woke up to the moment he went to sleep. He was practicing something. He was working on some part of his body. It was what he did. He lived, breathed, slept martial arts. He slept the art. Now, the art in martial art, the art is the flowing, is the beauty of it, is this nature of it, the nature of martial arts. So you have this practice, and then you have the art, and the whole point of martial arts is from all that practice, you make those moves look effortlessness. That's the whole point of life, say Bruce Lee. And you get the same thing within sporting people. If they practice enough that they can make hard moves look easy, then they've practiced enough. But then they should practice a little bit more. And I think there's a lot of thing within the martial arts goes to the 3Ms, and we'll go to that in a second, but a lot of thing with the martial arts that a lot of people don't continue, or even in like things like Qigong, which we can do more as a healing art or more as a spiritual art, and same with Tai Chi and Ba Kwa Chang, which is another style, another member of the Qigong family, if we say it that way, is that the practice is what makes it what it is. The more you practice, the more it becomes you, and you become it. And that's the point, is that it's actually learning into body memory and making it become one. You and that exercise are one. It's very much with swords and weapons. They will say that you're meant to practice with that weapon until it becomes part of you, until it becomes like another limb. So from there, so the 3Ms, we did mention this last week. So the 3Ms are medical, martial, and meditational. And within the Daoist, well, within the Qigongs, within even things like massage, with energy work, and we'll get to this a little bit more in a bit, but everything has a martial side. In the East, everything has a martial side. So martial is fitness or fighting. The fighting is sort of like the cherry on top of the cake. One of the big things for a martial artist is martial arts is all about personal development, knowing oneself, learning to train the body that you can do. You want to kick, you can kick as high as you want to. You want to move, you can move as fast as you need to. If you want to leap forward, you can leap as far as you need to. And this allows you to understand yourself, allows you to actually understand your capabilities, what your limits are, and that the truth is that you can become limitless. That's the point. So martial arts, it was never really in the Eastern philosophy. Martial arts is not about fighting. It's about personal development. It's about understanding oneself. So the martial side, it sounds like it's very martial art. The martial side of the 3Ms are very fighting. Actually, it's personal development, which is when we talked about Qigong and Shen. It's the emotional side, the knowing the emotions, knowing thyself. But it's fitness. And there's very much this thing of, and we'll get to the 5 activities, which is the same thing. But within the Daoist concept especially, this is in wartime. You use these techniques this way. In peacetime, you use these techniques this way. If you're in a cave, you would use these techniques this way. And if you're in a spaceship, you would use these techniques this way. So what do I mean by that? So the whole thing, so martial, medical, meditational. So martial arts, so the martial side of the 3Ms is, like I said, in wartime, or if you're under threat, if you're in a fight or flight situation, you have the ability to defend yourself, which is the first level, and then eventually defend others. So it is, so in times of stress or fighting, times of war, it's fighting. It's a fighting art. So all these techniques can be used in a fighting way. And there's a little smile on my face because with the 5 activities or 5 skills, there's a little twist on that. But anyway, so let's just focus on, say, like Qigong for starters, or Tai Chi. So you have the martial side. So one side is, if under attack, it's about defending yourself and then defending others. You start off on yourself, and then when you're competent in that, you can then defend others and be a warrior or a close protection officer, like I was, for others. Now, so that's, but in peacetime, it's all about fitness. It's all about keeping oneself healthy in body, healthy in mind, healthy in spirit. it goes back to that 3Ms again. So they're all interconnected. This is the thing. Nothing's separate. It's actually all interconnected. So that's the martial side for now. Then the medical side. Well, the medical side, again, in war, it's about emergency first aid. It's about how can you fix somebody in a certain way to get them through the battle. They've really hurt themselves, but they have to keep going. How can you fix themselves? Or remember, it starts always with you. How do you fix you to get through the battle? So then you've got the healing side. So the healing side of, for example, Qigong. The healing side of Qigong is that with body mechanics, which goes into posture, which goes into sort of yoga, Union, or Daoist yoga, Neigong. The posture, when you get the posture right, the body on fighting, your body needs to be a certain posture. Because otherwise you don't have the power, or you won't be able to protect yourself, or you'll injure yourself if your posture is incorrect. And then that same posture is then used on the healing side. So, with healing, you putting your body in a certain position in a certain way is very important, especially for healing. If you're hunched over all the time, you're going to create issues in your back and your neck and your shoulders. So by sitting up straight and being straight in a certain way, that's going to allow the blood to flow. One of the big things I always talk about a lot, well, there's two things I always talk about a lot within Qigong, especially in Tai Chi, is, are your armpits open? Because if your armpits are actually closed, if you can feel the skin touching, this interesting thing that's going on is that when the armpits are closed, you're actually creating tension in your shoulders, which creates tension in your neck. And people who get migraines and headaches, especially, or if you find yourself getting very angry very quickly, how are you feeling? Where's the tension? Have you got tension in your neck and shoulders? What's an easy way to find out? Well, two things. Firstly, stick the elbows outwards. So, if they're in your lap or like you're driving, feel. Are your elbows very close to your body? That's creating tension in your shoulders, which will actually, when you have tension in your shoulders, the world is on your shoulders. Atlas, the whole philosophy of Atlas holding the world on his shoulders is you're taking on all the burdens. So by opening up your shoulders, and also a simple technique of shrugging, if you shrug for 2 seconds and then let go, if that feels better, that tells you you had tension in your shoulders. There are other exercises we do in Qigong, like Willow Tree Qigong, which is a very simple yet very powerful exercise. Actually, if you look up me on YouTube, Sifu Boggie, Sifu Boggie, and put Willow Tree Qigong, about 10,000 people watched it, and you'll see, like I said, it's a very simple exercise, and you do a couple of minutes of that, and if you feel better, it actually shows you how tense you were. And that's the biggest interesting thing, is that normally if you do something that tenses a little bit more and then relax, if that actually feels better, you are actually tense to begin with. So on the medical side, it goes into posture. And quite simply, especially for a DragonDog Shaman, which we've talked about in previous episodes, the Barefoot Doctor is very much into other different techniques, using lots of different techniques, and is spiritually quite scientific in a certain way, where the DragonDog Shaman is far more about what they've learned themselves and understood and feeling it. It's very much about the Qi, the Jing and the Shen, and it's very much about feeling that moment and what they're feeling. So so the reason I bring that up is the DragonDog Shaman would quite simply say, for them, is that if you're getting, and it's said a lot to be in Daoism anyway, is that if you're ill, your chi's blocked. Simple. Your energy is blocked. If you're getting ill or you're getting stressed, or you can't seem to resonate with what your mission in life is, or you can't find your true, you can't find that happiness, that settled happiness, you feel a bit lost, you feel a bit empty, then your energy's blocked. That's the true understanding of philosophy in the Daoism, is that your energy is blocked quite simply because, there's an issue there, there's a problem. So if there's illness, or you're getting angry very quickly, or your emotions all over the place, and or you feel a little bit lost, that would indicate that your chi is blocked. Well, your energy systems are blocked. How do you unblock your energy systems? Well, one way is Qigong. And any Qigong will help you on that path or on that road. But the Barefoot Doctor will show you and teach you different Qigongs for different things. And my family, the family system that I learnt, Shundao, the flowing way, or Shun is also their surname, just like my surname is Brighton, but I'm known as Sifu Boggie, but my actual name is Paul Brighton, and Brighton in the UK is a beach. It's a town, not just a beach, it's a town. And Shun was a surname, but it also means to flow and fold, so it's the folding way or the flowing way. And in Shundao, they have many, 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 many different techniques. So the Barefoot Doctor side has all these different techniques, and they can analyse you, diagnose you, and right, it's this, this, and this. But the DragonDog Shaman side of them will just go, just do that. That gets things moving. Let's just start with this one. Just do that one. There's a saying of a little girl on a beach, and there's thousands of starfish all over the beach, and she's picking one up, she whispers something to it, and she puts it back in the water, and this man comes along and sees this girl doing it and says, what are you doing? She says, I'm saving starfish. And he says, but there's thousands on the beach, you can't save them all. And she says, but I've saved this one. And put it back in the water. And I've saved this one. So sometimes a Barefoot Doctor, and that side of me, I can bombard you with hundreds of different Qigongs. There's a Qigong for everything. There's normally about 3 to 10 Qigongs for everything. But at the end of the day, just do something. Just do one. If you say, is there a Qigong for this and is that, and I go, yeah, there's this, and this. But at the end of the day, do something, because something is better than nothing, and something will allow your energy to flow. And that's the most important thing. So you have, and then talking about energy from the martial side, so martial, protecting yourself and then eventually others, which is like more in wartime, or if you're attacked. In peacetime, it's about fitness for you, and then fitness for others, which then blends into the medical. The medical is, not just about healing yourself, like obviously in wartime, it's about emergency healing or fixing you enough to allow you to continue the battle. But in peacetime, it's about not just surviving, but thriving. So in wartime, you want to survive. In peacetime, you want to thrive. So the whole medical side then becomes all about not just healing you, but actually, allowing you to grow your energies, increase your energies, which then goes into the next one, which is meditational. And the meditation, again, meditation is this really weird word, a bit like martial arts and even Qigong, is that people see it in a certain, or Tai Chi, people see it in a certain way and believe it's a certain thing. But meditation simply means focus on one thing and forget everything else. So you can meditate by sweeping the floor. You can meditate by sewing. You can meditate by fishing. You can meditate by daydreaming. These are all meditations. If you're focusing on one thing and allowing everything else to disappear, this resets your brain in a certain way. Because normally what happens is the forebrain, which is actually when we talk about monkey mind and intuition or Daoist thought or Buddha thought, which we'll do a podcast at some point about, that the monkey mind is very much in the forebrain. We know we have 60 to 90,000 thoughts every single day in the forebrain. And our Buddha mind or intuition or Dao mind is in the heart. Is that our heart actually has brain cells, and when we draw our attention down the heart and breathing and lowering our awareness down to the center of our body, we connect to this inner consciousness, this inner feeling that's connected to the universe itself. But we have a different feeling, and they would say, you want to know whether what you're doing is a good or bad thing? Meditate. Sit there and just listen to your heart and focus on that thing. And if you feel light and things, that idea excites you, then that's a yes. Do that thing, or that's at least what you should do right now. But if you start having a feeling of dread or starting to get nervousness in the heart, then that's a no. And there is no right or wrong answer. There's no good or bad, but it is this: if it's making you expand and you feel excitement, you should do that right now. If you're not feeling unease or there's nervous tension within the body, then it could quite simply be saying, don't do it right now. So within Qigong, there's the 3 M's. So martial, one side is defense for self and others. The other side of it would be fitness and well-being, which then leads into the medical side. If you've been attacked or in a war, it's about survival. It's about emergency first aid, fixing you enough to get you through. But if it's in peacetime, it's about turning from surviving into thriving and allowing yourself to, your energies to grow and increase and your body to heal, because we actually are far more powerful than we believe. It's a thing called epigenetics, which we'll talk about in an episode in the future. But epigenetics is all about our feelings, and when we balance our feelings, we can actually increase our health far more than we're being told or realise. Which leads into meditation. So on one side, meditation can be focus. It can be Zen or Chan. So Chan is the Chinese word for Zen, which is focus, intent. Going to, so in a battle or even in a sporting activity, you want to be focused. You want to be focusing on your goal at hand. But then when that increases in peacetime, that focus, that being able and being intuitive on what you need to do. But in peacetime, that is your consciousness expanding and you move into bigger and better things. You connect spiritually and energetically and beyond. So you have the martial, the medical, and the meditational, which is the 3 M's. Now, within the East, that's in all martial arts, that's in all energy arts, that's in all spiritual arts. Nothing is one thing. There's a medical side, a martial side, and a meditational side, which leads into one of the Daoist sets. A Barefoot Doctor especially believes in the 5 activities. And if you have these skills, and if you have these 5 skills, whether you live in a cave or or you or the society lives in a cave, or society lives in a spaceship, so think of survival to thrival, whichever one you live in, with these 5 skills, these 5 styles of skills, you will always find a job, and you will always be sought after in your community. What are those 5 skills, I hear you ask? Well, they are as follows. So in no particular order, the first one is Tai Chi, Qigong, or the martial arts. So again, think of, it goes back to thriving, surviving. So with the Qigong, with the Tai Chi, with the martial arts skills, in survival mode or in wartime, you'll be able to defend yourself, you'll be able to defend others. In peacetime, you use those skills to stay fit and strong. The Buddhist monks, the Shaolin monks, the Shaolin are Buddhists, so they're actually spiritual warriors, they're spiritual monks. But the warrior side, the fighting side, is just a cherry on top of the cake. You know, they train to be spiritually enlightened. They train to balance mind, body and spirit. The fighting bit is just literally the cherry on top of the cake. So the first pillar or the first skill is Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts. The next one is food. So food and nutrition, or food and herbs. So now in wartime or in survival mode, knowing the right herbs that can boost your immune system or boost your ability, boost your adrenaline, is really important. Being able to cook a hearty meal for the soldiers before they go to war would be important. But in peacetime, food becomes magic, because we think of herbs as medicine to a certain degree, or we think of the medicine, we think of tablets. Within Daoism, you have the 5-element food theory, which turns food into medicine. That all food can actually be used as medicine itself. And it normally goes into the 5 elements, which we'll talk about another time, but very quickly. You have, for example, you have earth, metal, water, wood and fire, and they are the 5 elements rather than the 4 elements of the West. The 5 elements of the East are those, and it's actually, again, a little bit like this. There's lots of metaphors of those elements, that each element means something. And in peacetime it means this, or the Qi level it means this, on the Jing level. So Qi, physical vitality, Jing, emotional vitality, Shen, spiritual vitality. There's many different levels. We're getting into like the whole sciencey Barefoot Doctor sort of 10,000 different ways to explain the universe techniques. So you have Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts. That's one pillar, one skill. So learning those, will make you a warrior, but it also, in peacetime, you'll be able to teach things that will keep people fit and keep them active, hence the Shaolin monks being as popular as they are. Then you have food and nutrition, food and herbs. Again, in wartime, it's actually using those foods to boost people up, to, give them a surge of adrenaline to keep them going. In peacetime, it's not just about filling their belly, but it's about healing them. Foods that can actually heal you. There's actually a great thing in China called the 5-element restaurants or cafes, and you have a doctor at the front of the restaurant, and as you walk in, a doctor will look you over, he'll look at your tongue, he'll take the pulses in your arm, and he'll write a prescription, and that prescription he gives to the chef. And that prescription is what energies you're lacking from the 5 elements and other things like the meridians, the chakras, the auras, the Merkaba, the Torah field. He will write it down as food or items of food, and then the chef will go, oh, okay, you need this, this, and this, and he will create you the food that will help heal your body. But food can also be used spiritually. Remember martial, medical, and meditational? Those 3 M's are within these 5 pillars or these 5 activities. So you have food can be for, to help you in a sporting way or a fighting way. The food can help you fill your belly, but food can also heal you and also activate spiritual awakenings. Certain foods will allow the mind to expand. So we have Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts, one pillar. We have food and nutrition, the second pillar. We have music and art. Now, this is often one that puzzles people, and I must admit, this is the weakest of my 5 elements. I play a little bit of harmonica, and I'm more of a moving artist than I am a painting one, or I'm a martial artist more than I am a painting one. So with music and arts, and music can inspire people in war, and especially the same with the artwork. So they'd have the banners or flags, they would inspire people. But they also have within that artwork, you can learn symbols that activate different energies or activate different things, which then goes into healing. So in the healing side, music and artwork can be very therapeutic, very much helping you heal. But then also the music and the art can then go into the spiritual side. So obviously music is vibration. So spiritually it can take you on a whole journey and using meditation too. It can take you onto, wonderful, beautiful places, music. And in general life, a song you can remember from your childhood or remember from a certain loved one. Music can make you very happy, but it can also make you, feel quite upset. And artwork, people have often said that about certain artwork has made them cry or given them a whole different perspective and realization. So again, learning and knowing some a musical instrument and or artwork would be very important and a good skill to have for if you're learning the 5 skills or the 5 pillars. So Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts, food and nutrition, music and art, philosophy and strategy. Now, so this has confused a lot of people that martial artists like Bruce Lee was very much into philosophy and studied philosophy when he went to America. And a lot of people find that really weird. Why in martial arts do you need philosophy? Well, again, in the wartime, philosophy and the strategy will help you come up with different techniques. So there's a book called The Art of Strategy by Sun Tzu, or Sun Tzu's, some people say. Now, in wartime, yes, it's about using your resources in a certain way to overcome your enemy. You don't beat your enemy or destroy your enemy. You learn how to overcome them, which is very much a Daoist trait or a Daoist philosophy. But then in peacetime, that strategy, that art of war, becomes art of strategy, and hundreds of thousands of businesses have been using the art of strategy for over 1,000 years or more, within businesses, within FT 500, 100 index businesses, they've been using it for over 100 years. But it goes back far further, obviously, and they're using it in different businesses, in ancient times as well as in fighting. So philosophy and strategy, again, in survival mode, you use it to overcome stuff. But in peacetime, it's used to enlighten. It's used, and so, the strategy, there's healing strategies and understanding things in a medical sort of way. there is also then, therefore, the fighting strategies and, understanding things in certain ways and doing things in a certain way. And there's also spiritual strategies. So this whole thing of philosophy and strategy is another pillar. And again, it goes into the martial side, the medical side, and the meditational side. So, Qigong, Tai Chi, martial arts, one pillar. Food and nutrition, a second pillar. Art and music, which is the third pillar. The fourth pillar is philosophy and strategy. And finally, the fifth pillar is massage and healing. So massaging techniques and healing techniques. Now, again, in wartime, it will be about fixing that person. If their arms hanging off, you'll click it back into place, or you'll tie it up, and send them back off the war, and let them do the best they can. In peacetime, massage. Now, I'm sort of notoriously known with my massage. I do Shundao massage. I do a thing called Tit Ta. So Tit Ta is Chinese osteopath or chiropractor. So it's clicking bones back into place, which is a whole podcast all on its own. And I also do then Tui Na and different Chinese massages, because it's all massage systems. So Tui Na is massage with energy work built in. And so the whole idea is, with my massages, I've had people get better, feel better, but people actually wake up to a whole new perspective, because I can massage them and I say, oh, when you was a kid, did you have like issues when you were as a child? You're psychic, how do you know? I'm not psychic, but your body's telling me, because different muscles in the body relate to different things. So tension in the shoulders is the world is on your shoulders, a bit like Atlas. Tension in your neck is saying, from what you can create in your mind, what you believe, to what you can physically achieve, there is a blockage. There is a blockage in the center, a blockage on the bridge. So the head is the bridge between what you can imagine and what you can create. So I've done that, but I've even, with massages, people remote viewed. When I've done massage, people have found past lives. They've had, whole spiritual awakenings, or, seen different things, gone on to a meditational adventure, all from the massage, because I'm releasing tension and activating things in a certain way. So the massage side is very important on that side, but also, when I was a kid, I decided that I wanted to be a baker, because originally I still wanted to do acting. I wanted to be an actor. So I decided to be a baker. For me, I decided to be a baker because actors finished, not even martial artists, bakers, that's the one. Bakers finish early in the morning, so I could finish in the daytime and then go and do my auditions. But when I told my Sifus, especially Po, who was more of the healing brother, the healing Sifu, of what I was going to do, he said, very good, massage, bakers make good masseuses, good massage practitioners, because kneading the dough actually gives them the techniques and the strength in their hands to massage people's body and their back. So on the healing side, the massage and the pressure points are for healing. In the martial side, massage becomes what is called Qi Na, which is grappling techniques. So where you would massage the body, you're now using it for holds and locks. And the acupressure is now Demuk, death touch. So it's nerve strikes. So, you're twisting that skill and using it in a different way. Those same techniques. On the meditational side, as I said, you can activate people's kundalini, you can awaken their chakras, their meridians, their auras, their Merkaba, the Torah field. You can send them on a past life adventure. You can, help them expand their consciousness. There are so many things as a Sifu you can do when you learn massage. Massage for yourself and massage for others. So those 5 skills are all interconnected. One relates to the next, and all 5 skills also relate to the 3 M's: the medical, the martial, and the meditational. So the 5 skills, the 5 pillars, the 5 activities, it is said that if you have 1 or 2 skills from all 5 of those, no matter if you live in a cave or you live in a spaceship, you will always be able to thrive. You'll always be able to adapt. You'll always be able to find your way through. Where, we're getting things getting shut up and closed down and restricted. But, the whole idea is that you can expand these abilities. You can expand yourself through these different 5 skills. And each one of these skills gives you a whole layer of, in peacetime it's for this, in wartime it's for this. You can use it in this way, you can use it in that way. So having those 5 skills allows you to adapt, allows you to be a good healer, a good Sifu for yourself and for others. So just sort of recapping. So you have within Daoist philosophy, you have the 3 M's, which is part of the 3's, the 3 vitalities, the 3 characters, the 3 treasures. The 3 M's is medical, martial, and meditational. And everything you do has those 3 aspects. So this is where now think of all of those skills we've been talking about. So your massage, your Shun Qi Shen, which is Chinese Reiki, the Qigong, the 5-element theory, music, art. There is a martial side to it, there's a medical side to it, and a meditational side to it. And the key is to know all those 3 and know how to use them in the most vital way that benefits you and others. So the 3 M's are very important. The understanding that everything has a medical side, a martial side, and a meditational side or spiritual side. And then you have the 5 activities or the 5 pillars within Tai Chi, one of the styles I teach and was taught, Wu Dang Tai Chi. You had the 5 pillars, and the 5 pillars are those skills. Well, they're a slightly different version of them. But for the Barefoot Doctor, those 5 skills: Qigong, martial arts, Tai Chi, food and nutrition or food and herbs, music and art, philosophy and strategy, and finally, do we say food? I can't remember now. Oh, no, I think we said food. Yes, so food, and then finally, massage and healing. So having those 5 pillars, having those 5 skills, whether you live in a cave or you live in space, you have those 5 skills. Whether it's a village or whether it's a city, you will always find skills. You will always find people to help. And you will find your place within that society because you have those 5 skills. So I hope this sort of intrigued you. It sort of made sense. I thought it was going to be about a 20-minute subject, and I've managed to squeeze it up to 43 so far, nearly 44. If you're interested in learning the Qigong side, or the self-healing side, or the Reiki side, whether it's Japanese Reiki, which I do, the Eastern version, its predecessor, which is Tahiti in Japan, and in China, Shun Qi Shen, which is Reiki's predecessor. If you're interested in learning Shun Qi Shen or DragonDog Shun Qi Shen, DragonDog energy work, if you're interested in learning Qigong or Tai Chi, I have a school. I have an online school. And at the moment, it's on Patreon. So www.patreon.com/Sifu Boggie. And you will find there are three main levels of teaching. One has 2 classes a week, one has 4 classes a week available, and one has 5 classes a week available. And they are live classes that are also recorded. Now, 2 of those are very much focused on Chi Time, the level called Chi Time, that focuses on reducing stress and anxiety and starting to help chronic pain. Cup of Chi is sort of my main school, the main level for the school, and the Cup of Chi is you're coming in as a student, learning different Qigongs for different ailments and injuries. If you look on Instagram or YouTube under Sifu Boggie, or Instagram at Sifu.Boggie, you will find I've got a Qigong for that. And it's one of my little sayings, one of my little metaphors. I've got a Qigong pretty much for everything. Because there is a Qigong for everything. Every ailment, every injury, every technique or skill that needs enhancing in some way, or could be enhanced in some way, there's a Qigong for. Because Qigongs are sort of like apps. So you have Chi Time, which has 2 classes. One starts to give you basic warm-ups. The other one gives you a set of Qigongs called Ba Duan Jin. And there's actually many different versions. We do more than one version. I teach you quite a few versions of Ba Duan Jin in those classes. And there are live classes every single week. But there's also recorded classes from the past, which you can watch too. Then the Cup of Chi, that goes into more intermediate versions. So you learn different Qigongs for different, to help people in different ways. So there's a Qigong for migraines, there's a Qigong for fibromyalgia, there's a Qigong for chronic pain, there's a Qigong to enhance your skating abilities, there's a Qigong for focus, there's a Qigong for psychic abilities. And in that Cup of Chi level, we go more into those. And finally, there's the DragonDog Shaman level, which is now called the Energy Worker level, where you learn a particular sort. So first you learn DragonDog Shaman Shen, or Flowing Energy Spirit, and you learn that version, which is very impactful and really strengthens up the body. And then through time, you learn other different variations of Energy Work as well. So that's the 3 main classes. And like I say, they're weekly classes that are live, but then are also recorded, so you can watch them anytime you want for a monthly fee. And you can stay for as long or as little as you want. Some people have been around for years, and some people are around for a couple of months, learn what they need to, and then they go. That's fine. That's the Tao, that's the way, that's the path. So if that interests you, coming and joining the school interests you, you can find that on www.sifuboggie.com/Sifu Boggie. That's what I meant. And also there is you'll find links down below. There is the Discord channel. So Sifu Boggie's Chi Tribe. And on the Discord, we have an interactive side. And then it's also an opportunity to get all the videos. If you join the school, you have 2 ways of getting the videos. One is on Patreon and the other one is on that Discord. Now, if you want to follow me, you can find me on YouTube under Sifu Boggie. You can find me on Instagram under Sifu.Boggie. You can find me on LinkedIn under Paul Sifu Boggie Brighton. And you can find me on Facebook, on the Facebook page, The Way of Sifu Boggie. So that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed this. It's time for me to go. Until next time, remember, open your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. So bye for now. Love, Chi, and Shen. Sifu Boggie.